With Coach Rick Shoemaker, Northwest Guilford softball. We tried to catch Coach Shoemaker at Shane's one Thursday. They were busy that Thursday. Today we tried to catch the coaches at school, and the weather took over. Some lightning thunder came in, had to stop practice early. But Coach, talk about your softball team. What do you think's led the team to the success they've had this season?
I think coming together and really working to figure out what my expectations are. You know, a lot of these girls have played travel ball and played for a lot of different coaches, and we've worked hard to come together as a team and do the same thing over and over again. You know, base hits, run, bunt, score. That's kind of our motto.
You talk about the team success. How about all the teams? You said softball's a pretty tough sport, tougher than some people realize. Competition's tough all the way around. I saw one game down in the bracket where the number 31 team, Lake Norman, challenged Charlotte Catholic number 2 seed. That was like a 5-4 game. You told me that all the way along. The competition's much closer than people realize.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, when you're playing these teams, you never know what they're going to bring to the plate. You've got a pitcher that throws a certain way, and they like that kind of pitching. They put it in play. They force you to make mistakes or put the ball in play and do something wrong. They can jump out and bite you at any time.
You look at Northwest Guilford softball. Here they are in the playoffs, and the baseball team didn't qualify this year. That's kind of unusual, too. You go all these years, both teams usually there together, and this year a little bit different for you. The softball team has to carry the banner this year.
Yeah, that is kind of unusual, especially since I've come from the softball side. I'm from the baseball side. But Sonny had a great team this year. He really had a good team, a lot of good talent. I think the leadership was lacking there halfway through the year, and when they found it, you know, it was kind of, in my opinion, maybe a little too late to make that run they were hoping for in the conference tournament.
What about the Shoemaker family? You got Zach, you got Marcus, you got Maddie, you got Coach Shoemaker, you got your dad. When you guys get around the dinner table, the meal table, plenty of softball, plenty of baseball to talk about.
Anytime we're together. It doesn't matter what event we're at, playing golf, on the phone, we're always talking about some situation that happened on the softball or baseball field.
What about you look at the overall? What led you to take this job? And before you took the job, you kind of look at this Northwest Guilford softball team and say, I'd like to get that team maybe one day and think about taking some things I'm able to do. Sometimes coaches look at that before they take the job and say, you know, if I had a chance, I'd be able to do something with that team. And if you end up doing some of those things, did you kind of glance at that before you took the job and say, well, let's see what happens here?
Well, you know, it was exciting times, no doubt, to get the job. I went to Northwest. I graduated from Northwest. I've lived here my whole life. My brother went to Northwest, and I didn't want to see the team go to some other coach that maybe is not familiar with the Northwest red blood that we carry around here. So when the opportunity came available, I talked to Mr. Hughes, and we interviewed, and it worked out. And luckily I have a job that has worked with me to enable me to be around as much as the teams needed me to be around.
Yeah, I should say too, that game you had against Northern Guilford, sometimes the coach can kind of adjust and diversify. That night you're wearing the bucket hat, you're wearing the lay around the neck that night for the cancer research promotion, and you kind of been able to adjust and diversify yourself a little bit too, coaching this team.
Yeah, there's been a lot of characters on this team this year, and we wanted to keep a little bit of fun into it. Not be so strict across the board, and that's been a trait of mine, is the bucket hat, and I didn't bring that bucket hat out till that night, and that bucket hat will be with me till we end this run.
How about the run? Talk about the run tomorrow night. The Davie County team you're facing next. What about that team?
We've done our research on them. They're a well-coached team, well-hitting team. I told my girls tonight that we have probably one of the best defensive teams I've seen. We have some of the best pitching in the state. We have to put the pressure on them. We have to keep the ball down, line drives, don't be dropping our hands and pop it up in there. And I think if we can play our game, we're going to be a tough team to contend with all the way through this thing.
I don't know who's going to start. You do, but you think about Grayson Staunton, the job she's Emily Chase on the job those two pitchers have done. Either pitcher can take that game and be a leader for you. And talk about the responsibility they have and what they've done for you this year.
Well, the thing is you'd be surprised how those two feed off of each other. One wants the other one to pitch just as bad as the other one. I mean, it's an odd thing to have that they're excited when either one of them gets on the hill, and we're looking forward to who we've decided on pitching tomorrow night, and she's very excited as well.
And you look at your catcher, too. That's an important part of your team. She has to call the shots behind the plate. And that game against Northern, that's the one I saw most recently. I saw the first Northern game and the second Northern game. Both were battles. But your catcher that game did a good job of blocking the plate, protecting the plate. And talk about what the job she does for you.
Well, actually, we've got two catchers. and both of them are fantastic. Ashton Goddard and
that's what I saw that night. Yeah,
and Mackenzie Watts. They're both fantastic ball players and strong in both of their own rights. I let my catchers call their own pitches. I do not. I've called one pitch this year, and they've done a super job, as you can tell. So we're happy with, and they've shared the role. So I told them at the beginning of the year they're going to share the role of catching all year. So I feel right now that our catchers' legs are strong, both of them. They're well rested and can come in at any time we need them and do a fantastic job.
In that game against Northern, you had to go at their catcher hard. I think little Griggs rolled behind the plate that night for them. I noticed you came by one time, had to kind of smack on the side and say, hang in there, it's a tough game, but all of you battled through. Yeah,
Griggs is a fantastic young lady. Her family's fantastic. She's played for me for several years. She's a downright baller, and I want to give her kudos where she deserved it. I felt that she did a fantastic job back there and maybe didn't get the compliments that she probably deserved, so I wanted to make sure that she knew I was paying attention to what was going on back there.
That's a good thing. What's your motto going? I know it's have fun, score runs. What's the overall motto for Coach Rick Shoemaker and his team as they take the field each and every game?
Well, like I said, I'm pretty superstitious. We do practice the same way every day.
No changes in the playoffs.
No changes, no sir. I've had some people have reached out to me and said, made some suggestions about this or that, and I said, well, we've done pretty well with what we've done and the way we've done it, and we're going to keep doing it that same way. So me and both Coach Jones are pretty superstitious in what we wear and where we run practice, and we're going to keep it that way.
Sometimes it's always nice, but I think we'll stick to what we're doing. That's probably your plan of attack.
Yes, sir.
Coach, success as you've had this year and success headed toward the playoffs and that playoff game tomorrow night. And again, Davie County, one more time, what do you got to do to have success and beat that team and move on to the next round, round 3 of the playoffs?
Well, like I said, we've played a bunch of games this year where we've scored 5-6 runs in the first inning and we don't score anymore. We start dropping our hands, popping it up. We quit going back to our theme, which is hit, run, bunt, score, and putting the pressure on them. We're going to have to keep the pressure on them, going short to the ball, getting deep in the counts, pushing the ball down the lines, and making them make the plays on us, not dropping our hands and hitting a lazy fly ball and getting out of the inning real easy.
Got to ask you one more time. You'll tell us, I'm sure, tomorrow. When will we know when that starting pitcher, who that starting pitcher will be? Right before game time or sometime during the day tomorrow?
I'll tell you right now, Emily Chasen will be on the hill.
Coach, you made the call. We look forward to the game and keep up the good work. I love the way you approach the game because you enjoy the game and you're a student of the game. You watched many a baseball game, many a softball game over the years. Kudos to you, your 2 sons, Marcus and Zach, your daughter Maddie, your wife, and your dad who helped make a lot of this possible too.
No doubt. Yeah, he's been a big inspiration, and I spend a lot of time on the phone with him after games and before games about situations that came up that I may question myself if I made the right call, and we work it out amongst family, and that's who I trust.
Thank you again, Coach.
Yes, sir.